I do feel like there's still a lot of love that exists between you and this person, but I'm just saying it's been so difficult to find common ground because you both deal with things in completely different ways. Your perspectives are just very different. The way that you react to things, the way that you handle things is very different. And so I do feel like you keep misinterpreting one another. There's something here about hypervigilance showing up in this connection, but in different ways. So, for example, if this person is feeling hypervigilant because they don't want to create a conflict between you two, they might filter their language or their words, or they hold themselves back from fully saying the truth or aspects of the truth, thinking that this is going to prevent conflict. But the thing is that you are coming out as this high priestess energy. So if someone is holding something back or not being direct about something or leaving out details, intuitively you pick up on this right away. And so when you notice that they're not being entirely forthcoming with something, that in turn makes you feel hyper vigilant about their intentions and why they may be filtering their language or the truth. And so I really see that that's where you and this person have kept misunderstanding one another, because in their attempt to hold back out of protecting themselves because they don't want to start conflict, they end up starting a conflict anyways because you can sense that they're not being entirely transparent. And the thing is that I don't feel either of you react in the way that you do out of malicious intent, but I do see that there is a lack of compatibility regarding that. And the only way I see things could change for you and this person is by them being 100% transparent and saying what they really mean always, and only by you learning how to trust instead of analyzing everything. Because your intuition is louder than your logic. That's what wants to be made clear here. It's like in these situations where someone is telling you something where you know it's not entirely true or there's details missing, you are meant to sense into what you are feeling instead of analyzing, okay, is this person telling the truth or not telling the truth? There's something here about letting stillness show you what the truth is, and to really just listen before you react. And then from that point, you can decide, okay, I need to confront this person because they are not being honest, or I need to let them go because they keep being dishonest. Or you're going to see, I actually didn't have anything to worry about here, and this person really just needs to work on themselves and do the inner work so that they no longer fear creating conflict for themselves or for you through honesty. And I also feel that not only does this person hold back wanting to protect themselves, but they also hold back because they want to protect you, because sometimes they might think, well, I don't know if you can handle the truth. And I think that's that would piss any high priestess off, right? Because you're like, why would I not be able to handle the truth if I am always truthful, you know? But because I feel that no one really has ever called this person out on this aspect of themselves and you see so clearly through it, I feel that that's why you came into their life, because you were going to be one of the only people that could wake them up to this pattern that doesn't serve them. Just as through their actions, they're waking you up to the pattern that you always need to trust your intuition and not lose yourself in the overanalyzation of everything. Because you might have this tendency to hold really tightly to pulling the truth out of others, pulling the truth out of this person, and then really getting upset when they're not able to meet you there. But there's a message here that if you learn how to fully trust in that knowing, it gets easier to release this need for them to give you the closure, for them to give you the truth. and instead say to yourself, okay, well, I see either something needs to end or it needs to evolve here. Like things cannot stay the same. So either this person really has to work on themselves or I have to go in a different direction. Because honestly, if you really carry this high priestess energy within you, regardless of gender, the more that you resist and don't trust your inner knowing, the heavier everything is going to feel. The louder the anxiety is going to be, and the more you're going to feel energetically drained. And so I'm seeing if there is a separation going on between you or space between you right now, this is necessary and it needs to happen in order for a transformation to happen in both of you. But the thing is that the reality after all of this is going to be different depending on who is watching. Since this is a collective reading, I can't promise that, oh, all of you are going to end up back with this person or all of you are going to not be together ever again. The truth is that for some of you, you will be with this person, and for some of you, you won't, and you will align with someone who can meet you where you need them to. But the silence between you and this person right now is necessary. I don't feel like either of you have fully lost interest in one another, but I feel that you have lost interest in that battle due to hypervigilance. I feel both of you need time to understand your feelings. And a beautiful thing here is that I don't feel either of you are assuming the worst about one another, but just praying, hoping that the other will heal or see what they need to see and get what they need to get from this situation. Gemini energy could be significant. Scorpio energy could be significant. I'm hearing specifically Scorpio rising, Gemini moon, Gemini rising, but the sun signs could also be significant, also Venus as well, 8th house energy. And I feel that through this separation, this person is going to have a chance to learn, okay, my truth, I need to learn how to express my truth without fear. And I think they might be able to take some notes from you if they see you as someone who is radically honest. And that's very likely what they're meant to do because you came into their life for this reason. They have to learn, okay, it's safe for me to express my truth to someone that I love. It's safe for me to trust their reaction, that I don't need to edit the truth or disguise the truth or hold back. Because their deep fear is that by fully expressing themselves, they're going to get hurt. But they're being called to learn how to speak clearly and be radically honest as well, so that the right energy can meet them. And they're needing to learn that editing the truth, filtering the truth is not getting them what they want. And it's pushing them away from what they want. It doesn't really matter here who pulled away from the other first. Like I said, I feel both of you, it's been a long time coming that you've needed to individually process some feelings here. But I'm seeing that if this person has pulled back, either of you really, it's because of this feeling of overwhelm. And I feel that in this connection in general, I feel things moved faster than expected, than either of you could have ever expected. And also this falling out, this argument, whatever it was, it moved faster than either of you expected as well. And so I feel both of you are needing space right now to fully understand your emotions and to not see this distance as you rejecting one another, but rejecting the negative patterns in one another. Because if you and this person ever want to have a healthy connection with one another, these patterns need to be gone. And that can only happen if they're truthful and only if you're able to trust them and yourself. Yourself more than anything, because your intuition is your compass for this life, okay? And for a lot of you, if you've made it this far into this reading, no matter what has been said between you two, And only take this if it truly resonates, because like I said, this can't be for everyone. But I feel that the other person still does see a future with you. I feel like this person has thought way more ahead into the future than they would like to admit regarding this connection. I feel like they've really pictured how this could work long term. But now, because of these arguments, because of the push and pull, they've been overly cautious about expressing that to you. Okay. I hope this reading has made sense so far. Now I want to pull you some cards, and that was just like the channeled message that I was getting, but now I want to pull some cards to see what else wants to come through for how they're seeing things and how you are. So, Spirit, I ask that you come through with the truth and only the truth for this beautiful collective regarding this person on their mind. What needs to be said regarding this other person? Okay, so I feel that this Queen of Cups reversed and this Knight of Wands reversed is representing this other person's hypervigilance regarding avoiding conflict. This is reflecting that emotional imbalance within them, that if they feel anxious that a conflict could arise, they impulsively try to control the situation by either not saying something or holding back from saying something. Not recognizing that they're not thinking rationally in that moment, because that fear, that extreme thinking is just going to lead to another extreme. And so in this case, it would be getting an even worse reaction from you because they're not being honest and creating a conflict anyway, which is the very thing that they had set out not to do. And with Justice in the reversed, I'm seeing that if they don't get this pattern in check, they're just going to continue taking on karma associated with this pattern. So for example, even if they let you go, even if y'all go separate ways, they would likely still attract situations where this pattern is continuously reflected back to them until they get it, until they heal it. But I'm seeing this is their moment, this is their chance to heal it with the Ace of Cups. That's why you were sent into their life. And I'm seeing that once they bravely confront this pattern and say, okay, I'm done with this once and for all, that's when they're going to be able to really experience what I like to call overflowing love, real love, joyful romantic success without all of the conflict, without all of the chaos, but only if they rid themselves of the chaos in here that causes them to act that way in the first place. All right, so now I want to see what's coming out on your side. With the Four of Coins here coming out on your side, I feel there's a lesson on attachment here. There's a lesson that even if you really love someone, if they are not respecting your intuitive knowing, if they are not taking accountability, if they are not owning up to their mistakes, that's not your cue to try to attach harder. It's your cue to release gripping onto the connection and them too tightly. Because like I said, your intuition is always going to be telling you something needs to end here or something needs to evolve, but things can't stay the same. And being more possessive of this person, being scared to lose them, sticking by their side no matter what, even when it's hurting you, that's not going to get them to change. That's not what's going to make them wake up to this pattern that's hurting them and that's hurting you. But this lesson about attachment is coming up because it's hurting you because you're staying somewhere where you're not being fully treated the way you deserve. And it's hurting them because it's preventing them from learning the lesson. By sticking around, even when you're not treated the way you want to be treated, you're enabling this person and saying, it's okay if you don't change. I'm still going to be here no matter what. And divine love, a beautiful love story, doesn't grow out of that kind of thinking. It doesn't grow out of a scarcity mindset. It grows out of an abundance mindset. Like, yes, I am deserving of divine love. I am deserving of a healing love, whether it's with this person or not. And I trust that what is meant for me cannot miss me. And your guides are showing here that if you continue to do the work, if you continue to trust in your intuition, you will receive a personal congratulations from God, from the universe, from your higher self, saying, yes, you did it. Yes, you were dedicated to your healing. You were dedicated to the inner work. And that's going to be recognized by us. And you're going to see this recognition by attracting an emotionally fulfilling, stable, beautiful, divine love. Whether it's with this person, whether it's with someone else, it's going to be bliss. Okay. And you're not meant to see any aspect of this situation with this person as a rejection. All of this is happening because you're now meant to spend time in spiritual solitude. You're now meant to turn inward. This lesson of attachment and love, you are meant to master it. You can master it, and you will master it. Thy will be done. Amen. So be it. So mote it be. However you want to declare it, it is so. It will be so. But things could not continue. Neither of you were going to grow in this connection with how it presently stood. Both of you were going to continue getting your heart broken. Both of you were going to continue being disappointed. But especially you, because I feel like you have held such high expectations for this person. And I'm seeing that the reason you've been called to solitude is because this connection was already becoming very unstable. Had you stayed in this connection with the way things were, you were going to lose your mind in a sense. You were going to feel heartbroken in a sense, let down. You were going to feel this need to dim your inner light to accommodate this person's fears. And that's not how things were meant to go or grow here. Let's see what else wants to come through for this person's side. So I feel that this other person, if they weren't someone who was used to doing the inner work, spending time in solitude, learning to manifest from a good place, learning how to meditate, that's what they're being pushed into now. And that's the only way they're going to be able to tap in to a different vision of their life, to a different version of themselves that isn't so hypervigilant. And they're really meant to look at their shadow self, the part of themselves that has been consistent through all of this, the part of themselves that consistently leads them to let themselves down and to let the person that they love down. But I feel they are also being called to have compassion for their shadow, to learn how to work with their shadow and integrate the lessons that need to be learned. Now let's see what's coming on your side. And you are also in this season of learning your lessons, learning what it means to integrate your own darkness, your own shadows, your own negative patterns. And even if you are feeling very alone right now, this is a reminder that no matter what you are going through and no matter what you will go through in the future, your life is under divine guidance and under divine protection. And your intuition is continuously leading you toward the most harmonious path for you. Now, before I close out this reading, I do want to see if any messages want to come from this person's higher self or their present self. What does the viewer need to know about the person on their mind? Okay, so here we have integrity coming out in the reversed. And so I feel that this is this person recognizing, okay, I could have handled that situation better. I was not entirely moving in integrity because I wasn't entirely truthful, and I wasn't meeting this person where they needed me to. And even if their human self can't quite see it yet, their higher self can clearly see that all of this, even if it's painful right now, is meant to lead them to an awakening. It's meant to spiritually transform them and their point of view. There's something coming through about this person wanting to feel a certain way. How does this person want to feel again? Okay, so it could be that this person now feels that they've encountered a more cold or distant version of you. And there is this desire to feel your warmth again, to feel your love again, but recognizing that they're not going to get that soft version of you unless they learn how to take accountability and forgive themselves for hurting you, and then seeking your forgiveness thereafter. Now, if they're actually going to ask for your forgiveness, that depends on them and their own free will. But this person does hope that one day you will forgive them. Whether that means just saying, I understand now why this had to happen, let's move on with our lives, or whether that's, okay, I understand, now let's try again. And let's see what else. I feel that this person could also be reminiscing on a different chapter of y'all's relationship, because here we have, I remember every detail of that day, and something about remembering the bond of friendship within the connection. So I don't know if you and this person started off as friends or were friends once, or you really just were so playful with one another. It could be that they're looking back at the more lighthearted version of this connection, but also recognizing that it was more lighthearted because the both of you were showing up more authentically at that point in time. And here we have I want you, but it's coming out in reversed. So it's this energy of like, yes, I want this person, I want to be with this person, but I don't know if I can have them. And I don't know if I have what it takes to keep them. Okay. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope that you've enjoyed this reading. I hope that it resonated with you. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can go ahead and click the link to my website down below in the description, or you could even book an attachment style reading. I offer readings for anxious attachment and avoidant attachment if any of you are interested. Other than that, I will see you all in the next video.